Well, hello everybody and welcome to Assembly. And I'm sure that by now you've heard the wonderful news from last Friday's TES Awards, where St Peter's was shortlisted for the Prep School of the Year award, won the Pre-Prep School of the Year award, and that led us to being in the reckoning for the overall title. And it was just wonderful that St Peter's was named as Independent School of the Year. Particular congratulations to everyone associated with St Peter's 228, but also a massive team effort and huge recognition for the school. I couldn't be more proud of all colleagues, both teaching and support, and also the amazing achievements of all you pupils. Many congratulations. It really is a tremendous accolade and recognition, especially given all the challenges over the last 18 months. Turning to the Assembly reports, and first up, cricket. Last Friday saw our first cricket fixtures for a long time, with the under-14s and under-15s playing Mount St Mary's. Two T20 matches resulted in wins for both teams, with the under-14s achieving a victory with 80 runs and the under-15s winning by 7 wickets, with Fraser Rigby achieving a 5-wicket haul. Yesterday saw the first 11 in action in the first round of the National T20 Cup. With no upper 6th and 5th form available, it was an opportunity for the lower 6th and 4th form to perform for the first 11. And boy did they do well. The first match against Scarborough College, it was a tight affair with the win coming in the last over with 2 balls to spare. The second match against Mount St Mary's resulted in a 42-run win, and we move on to the regional playoff round just before half-term. And I have a match report from Mr Sharp. As the school cricket club flag was raised fully for the first time in 22 months, under sunny blue skies, the senior 11 embarked on their National Schools T20 campaign. St Peter's fielded a skilled but fledgling side who fought hard and showed real fortitude to beat a strong Scarborough College team in a final ball thriller, notable for performances from Hugo Nixon, Chris Lopez, Archie Barrett and James Gilman. Developing their understanding and adapting from lessons learned, the run chase of the first game, the first 11 amassed a total of 175 from their 20 overs in the second fixture against Mount St Mary's. Third former Wills Benison anchored the innings with a skillful and mature 44, so very well done, adeptly supported with 2 healthy contributions from Fraser Fennell, Hugo Nixon, Isaac Allison and Theo Walton. Some tight bowling in the first 10 overs put the squeeze on the opposition, who were always behind the asking rate, and despite some lusty blows towards the end of Mount St Mary's innings, St Peter's won comfortably by 36 runs just before the rain arrived, and we now progress on to the next round of the competition later this month, which I think we're rather hoping to play at the end of Friday as we go into half-term, which would be a very great way to finish up this first half of term. Tennis. It's been encouraging to play another set of competitive tennis matches this week with boys and girls in action. The Lower Sixth girls played a triangular match against Sedbergh and Queen Margaret's, winning the Sedbergh tie with QM the winners in the second match. And our under-15s enjoyed a trip to Hill House, levelling their score 3-all. And the Lower Sixth boys travelled to Scarborough College, winning their respective matches in both singles and doubles too. In hockey, the under-17 girls also had an opportunity to play in 2 Hockey Sevens matches at QM's last Saturday. In between a full games programme, it's been wonderful to see so much active engagement across the board. And Rounders, the 4th form girls, played a super game of Rounders against Bootham School on Wednesday. Both schools were a little rusty in their first innings, but improved greatly in the second, thanks to Bootham, who hosted us, and it was very nice, of course, to see them again for a fixture. Young Enterprise. Our team of lower 6th pupils won the Young Enterprise North Yorkshire on Wednesday following a brilliant display in the team interview, video presentation and company written report. I have to say I've been really impressed with their entrepreneurial spirit and the hard work that they've displayed, and the group are now into the North East final in 2 weeks' time, so the very best of luck for that. And debating, the lower 6th inter-house debating competition is progressing incredibly well with impassioned speeches, excellent points of information and engagement with the other team's arguments. The lower 6th will represent their houses at a very high level. The motion debated was, this house believes that celebrities should not be allowed to make political statements. Well, Manor and Linton were victorious in their debates on Tuesday, although the scores were incredibly close, with Mr Fuller, Harry Shee and Mrs Lunardi scoring each debate with only a few points separating the teams. There was another debate on Thursday lunchtime, which I managed to drop into for a few minutes and looked fantastic, but I'm afraid it's too late to be able to include the result of that in this message, so one for next week. Listen out indeed in tutor groups to who won that one, and indeed who has progressed to the semi-finals next week, because even if you didn't win, you could still have been the highest scoring runner-up. And as always, if you're interested in debating either this term or in September, do get in touch with Mrs Lunardi and you would be more than welcome to join this fantastic activity. From the Careers Department, Old Peterite Richard Parkinson, who's a consultant orthopaedic surgeon, will give a talk and a Q&A via Zoom on Monday the 10th of May at 6 p.m. about his career, to which 5th and 6th form are very warmly invited. In addition, on the 20th of May at 6 p.m, OP John Wilkinson, who is Managing Director at Goldman Sachs, who will present an insight into her career in finance and also host a Q&A. So Mrs. Wishart has circulated the joining details by email, but if you intend to join, please do let her know so that our OPs have an idea of how many people they can expect to attend. And I'd warmly encourage you to grab both of those opportunities. They do sound fantastic. And finally, there was an interesting debate on Radio 4's Today programme on Thursday morning based on the fact that Joe Biden, President of the USA, has given his backing to a proposal that there should be no intellectual property rights on the COVID vaccine to make it much easier for it to be manufactured and distributed across the world, especially to poorer countries. And the pharmaceutical companies are arguing against this, saying that it might actually disincentivise future research into medicines as well as deny them profits from what they've been doing. The debate was centred around whether the common good should prevail over the desire to make significant profits, and whether that would jeopardise Big Pharma's willingness to develop new medicines to protect against future pandemics. Well, the ethics of capitalism is actually quite fascinating, and it may be of particular interest to those of you who study politics, economics, philosophy, ethics and theology and the such like. That notion of interdependence in societies and globally can be seen in climate emergency, where we're reminded of how individual actions impact on the whole ecosystem. It's a core principle of Buddhism and other religions, including love your neighbour in Christianity. In the Quran, there's the instruction to do good to those in need, including neighbours who are near and neighbours who are strangers. And humanists likewise follow the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Listening to the debate, it made me think that it felt very different to the sense of everyone pulling together during the various waves of the pandemic, when there was that sense of we all have to be in this together and it's a crisis. It's wonderful, of course, to be coming out of those challenging times, but perhaps a sad sign of potentially a return to more narrow self-interest and a sense of fragmentation and individualism. A reminder to us, I think, about the importance of being in a community where people support each other. That place where many hands make light work, and that when pulling together, we actually maximise the outcomes. It should be the case for us that when we're back to normal, sharing house spaces and other activities across year groups, that our sense of community will in fact be increasingly heightened. And I have to say, I do of course look forward to that a very great deal. Certainly that should be our goal, that coming out of the pandemic increases our potential and that even better times lie ahead. Times when I may even sign off assembly with a different phrase, but until then, stay safe, go well and crack on.